provoked him.
I'm not sure that the prosecution expected this, because they did have one of the witnesses said it wasn't just a push. It was, he lifted him up in like a linebacker drill type, like when you see a linebacker, hit the dummies. And so, that's what he said. And so it was, and then the last witness, I was not there for that, but you said that he said, oh no, he felt it.
Right, yeah, so a couple things to sort of think about here. So Karmelo Anthony was sitting down. Nobody said that he had stood up and really until after the stabbing. So all the witnesses agreed that he was sitting down. All the witnesses agreed that Austin Metcalf was standing up, probably on the row beneath him. Austin Metcalf being a bigger guy, still probably over him. And yes, a surprising moment. And these are teenagers, and they're all going to testify sort of differently. But the first two witnesses characterized the push as kind of on the aggressive side. One said it wasn't very light, but it wasn't very hard. And then they got into the debate over the linebacker drill, right? And of course, Austin Metcalf played linebacker in high school. So the jury definitely got the impression, I think, initially, that this was kind of a more aggressive push. Right, so you see the framework for the defense really forming there, because okay, we've got Austin Metcalf, who is 6'1". He's a linebacker. He's a big guy. He is in motion. He is moving, and he's told, "Don't put your hands on me," and then he makes an aggressive push like that. These are all things I absolutely think we're going to hear and see in the closing arguments. But later witnesses who came down sort of
there was some
minimized.
Right.
Their observations were a little more minimal than that. And it was more of a brush. And a lot of these witnesses, I don't know, and you sort of pointed out, might be respectful towards the Metcalf family. Also, they're in a very structured, authority-laden environment, so they all said that Karmelo Anthony was the one that provoked the harm, but nobody testified Karmelo Anthony moved or did anything or stood up or physically provoked him.
Did. As long as you don't touch me, we're cool. Karmelo Anthony told Austin and his brother Hunter Metcalf. Defense attorney Mike Howard got straight to April 2nd, 2025. And the version of events that he described looks nothing like what the prosecution told the jury before. Howard said Karmelo woke up late that morning, he drove to school, got on the bus with his teammates, and arrived at Kuykendall Stadium for the track meet. But Centennial High School, for reasons that remain unclear, did not have a tent that day. Every other school had one. Centennial had nothing but a tarp, so Karmelo was looking for shelter from the rain when he spotted someone he knew inside the Memorial High School tent. His name was Edwin Parra, a close family friend of Karmelo's girlfriend. Karmelo went in to say hi. He sat with Parra for 5 to 10 minutes. He was relaxed. He was in a normal mood. He wasn't looking for trouble. Then Austin and Hunter Metcalf saw him. Here's the detail Howard wanted the jury to feel. Karmelo Anthony is 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighs 135 pounds. Austin and Hunter Metcalf are each 6 feet 1 inch tall, each weighing around 213 pounds. Two of them, one of him. When the twins started telling him to leave, Howard said Karmelo was confused about why they were making such a big deal out of it. Karmelo told them, as long as you don't touch me, we're cool. He put his hand in his bag. Howard said everyone read it as a warning. Austin looked at him and said, I know, you ain't got nothing in that bag. The Memorial students started standing up. A fight was forming around him. And then Austin made physical contact first. In that split second, Melo has a decision to make. He stabbed once. He ran. He didn't stab again. He dropped the knife. He didn't hurt anyone else. When police caught him, he didn't try to escape. He stood there and told them exactly.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, and that is who the world ignorantly calls God. Bahashim, which means in the name, Yahweh Shai, which means He is our salvation. And that is who the world also ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man, who, by the way, only came for the Israelites, all right? Now, what brings us to our discussion / topic this morning is the trial that's ongoing for the incident that took place back in 2025, all right? Between one, Karmelo Anthony, and two, the Metcalf twins, all right? And this is where the title is going to come from. Am I my brother's keeper? All right? Am I my brother's keeper, okay? Because this is what Cain told the Lord when he asked him, where is Abel, all right? Knowing that he had unalived Abel, all right? So that same hatred still stew today in Esau, Edom, because Esau is in that same spirit as Cain was back in the garden, all right? And Esau still has that perpetual hatred towards Jacob, or Jake, his twin brother, still to this day, okay? Now, you may say to yourself, well, Karmelo shouldn't have been under the tent, you know, of another school's track meet. But as one of the clips said, his girlfriend, he knew her brother, all right, or was friends with her brother, all right, and he was trying to get out of the rain, okay? Now it's up to Esau to do what Esau does, okay? Especially if he has pull in that town, as it was stated that the Metcalf family is looked at as some type of, you know, respective family, okay? So he's a football player. The Metcalf twins are football players. They're 6'1", 200 plus pounds. And this kid, or this young lad, or this young man, Karmelo Anthony, is 5'8", a buck 30 something, okay? And he told the guy to step off, okay? Back up, man, all right? And the Edomite continued to pursue and push them. Now, some reports say it was in a linebacker drill manner, where you get up under your opponent's shoulder pads and you lift them up into the air with that type of ferocity. Some says it was a lighthearted push. Nevertheless, you got to learn to keep your hands to yourself, man, okay? You go get the appropriate authority, and then they'll remove said individual, all right? But you took matters into your own hand, and Karmelo Anthony, being the smaller defender, felt best to defend himself by what? Poking you one time to getting you off of him. And it just so happened that led to what? The tragedy, tragedy that we have today, which is being ongoing in this murder trial case, okay? But nevertheless, Esau Edom has this disdain towards Jake, even from a young age. Because why? We're going to read it. He has a perpetual hatred. That means it'll never go away, man. All right? Especially if they deem or look at you as a threat. Now, as long as you playing the token black guy, they okay with that. All right? But if you come with that bravado, that this is my place, this is my school, my tent, that's what really stokes Esau Edom hatred towards Jake. Okay? So this is the book of Genesis chapter 4 and verse 8. It reads, and Cain talked with Abel. These are two brothers. His brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. Now that was in the KJV. But if we read in the NLT, it says, one day Cain suggested to his brother, let's go out into the fields. See? This was a plot by murder. This is what they would call in the courts today premeditated murder. So Cain was the first premeditated murderer, man. It says one day Cain suggested to his brother, because at this point he already knew he was going to take him out. Let's go out into the fields. And while they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. See? This is what happened when you trust your enemy, man. Now, am I advocating for you to, you know, set yourself up in a predicament where you can put yourself in a position to try to take out Esau? No. Okay, by all means necessary. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is that this is your enemy, Esau, the so-called self-proclaimed white man. He has a perpetual hatred towards you, all right? No matter how good you think you are or close with him, this is brewing in the back of his mind. He can't wait to get a hold of you. It just so happened that this young Jake was prepared, okay? Now, he had two well-to-do Edomites that played football for this prospective high school that they had to track meet at, that were linebackers. So what do you expect him to do? Just sit there and get his ass whooped? Now, what if they would have pulverized him to death? Then it would have been a different story. See? But nevertheless, it wasn't like Jake went on a spree where he just poked him one time to tell him to get up off of him after he had already warned him, back up off me, man. Don't come any close. Don't put your hands on me. But see, that's the bravado of Esau Edom, especially those that believe that this is their country. Because he said, or he believed that was his high school. So you can only imagine once all hell breaks loose, which we're getting closer and closer to that day, and Esau feel his kingdom is coming to an end, the racial tension or racial war that's going to spew or break out between Esau and Jacob. This is just a microcosm, all right, of what's really coming, man. All right. Esau don't got no love for you fucking Northern Kingdom Jakes, and he damn sure don't got no love for you Southern Kingdom Jakes, all right? Because in his eyes, you all are one, man, all right? You the damn problem. So it says, one day Cain suggested to his brother, let's go out in the fields. And while they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother, Abel, and killed him, see? And you can bet, if Karmelo Anthony gets off this trial, okay, and it's looking like it's going to be a high-profile trial, you know, and who knows what it may be used for to stoke even more racial tension here in America for that all-out brawl that's coming. Because we had the brawl in Alabama with or Mississippi with the riverboat. We had the infamous O.J. Simpson trial, okay? Then we had the Trayvon Martin, see? So who knows what this is going to be used for, all right? Whether they're going to convict him or exonerate him, all right? Nevertheless, you can imagine if this being a high-profile trial between two teenagers, if this Jake gets off from a technicality or whatever of unaliving a so-called white teenager, oh, and especially in Texas, oh man, you already know the repercussion that's coming alongside that, especially when this economy, especially when America collapse. You're gonna see, all right, those you think that, you know, Tim and Bill and Michael are your neighbors, you're gonna see when that day happen, man. Okay, which is gonna go into the next verse we're gonna read, verse 9. And Yahweh said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. See? Knowing that he had already unalived him. And then he said, am I my brother's keeper? See? So you can already imagine this disdainment that Esau has for Jake, man. All right? And see, you 2/3, that's what he's going to say. Am I my brother's keeper? Because why? The Lord is going to give him over to you to be that sword to punish your ass. Now, is Esau, Jacob's going to get some of Esau too in that day. And we're going to read it. All right? But for the most part, the Lord is going to use Esau for the sword to take a lot of you 2/3 out. All right? A lot of you 2/3 going to meet your fate by Esau Edom, man. All right? Whether it's the average Joe Esau Edom, or whether it's the military Esau, you know, the army, the ICE, the whatever else agents they got, one way or another, you're going to meet that sword, all right? Now, Jake got him one in this incident, but the times to come, you know, Esau going to be ready to get back, that lick. It says, verse 9, and Yahweh said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And this is Esau and Edom in the spirit coming back, all right? Cain being Esau and Abel being righteous, Jacob. It says, and he said, I know not, okay? Am I my brother's keeper? Now let's read that in the NLT. Afterward, Yahweh asked Cain, where is your brother? Where is Abel? I don't know, Cain responded. Am I my brother's guardian? See? That lets you know the disdainment that Cain has towards Abel, all right? And still to this day, that Esau have towards Jacob, all right? Because Cain, didn't bring the best of his, Cain didn't bring the best of his meat as a sacrifice to Yahweh as Abel did. And just like Esau isn't righteous or isn't, religious as Jacob being righteous and having favor with Yahweh, all right? And also Cain believing that Jacob stole his birthright, all right? Which he didn't steal anything. It was set up in the spirit to go down that way, all right? So let's go to Ezekiel 35 and let's show that. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, and let's read verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. That goes all the way back to the beginning, even to now. It says, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel. Who are what? The 12 tribes of Israel, the descendants of the patriarch Jacob. It says, has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. See? So this is a perpetual hatred towards between Esau and Jacob. All right? Esau looking to get his get back or his lick, going back into when Jacob stole or supplanted him and took his birthright. Okay? Esau ain't never been the same, man. All right? He said from that day forward, he would swear to get Jacob. All right? Roughly paraphrasing. All right? But I believe it's in the book of Genesis. Could be the chapter 37 or 25 or 27. All right? So it says in the NLT, your eternal hatred for the people of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for all their sins. See? And it's going down again today, man. All right? It's going down again today, even with this case between Karmelo Anthony and the two Edomite linebackers, okay? The Metcalfs, all right? So it's just Karmelo Anthony, got the one up on him, man. He didn't take any chance of, seeing how this is gonna end. A bunch of black eyes or unconscious. The linebacker could have knocked him down and hit his head on a bleacher, or he could have got unconscious. Nah, man. He defended himself the best way he could as being a smaller frame body individual. Okay, and now the people, they in an uproar because one of their own, a Edomite, is no longer here, and a 17-year-old male Edomite at that. All right, a 17-year-old male that's carrying their seed Edomite, a football player Edomite. This wasn't just a Edomite, like a homeless Edomite. This was a Edomite with possible potential of doing something big for the city. See? So this really hit home for that town in Texas. It says, your eternal hatred, NLT, for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for all their sins, right? Because you're going back into the 50s and 60s and 40s, man. Esau was turning up on Jake out here in America, man. Sicking dogs on us, hitting us with a water hose, putting us on the back of their trucks, tying a rope to us, hanging us from trees, man, all type of shit, man. That wasn't even necessary. So now we supposed to feel some type of way because one of theirs is get taken out? Come on, man. And he initiated the contact when he could have just did the thing that he's supposed to do and go get the appropriate authority to remove Jake. Nah, he wanted to play the hero, man. So you have to excuse me if I don't play the world's smallest violin, man. All right? Because it could have easily been the other way around, and it could have been Jake. that got his head slammed to the concrete, man. See, then they would have been saying it was justified. He should have never been under the tent. He should have never been. See, when the shoe is on the other foot, it's hard for you to walk a mile of somebody else's shoes, man. All right, but just think about what Jake been going through since the fucking 40s and 50s and 60s, man. How many fucking parents lost their children to these damn Edomites out here, man? All right, for lesser. All right, look at Emmett Till. All right, what he got for allegedly whistling at a so-called white woman, man. But brother, the times are changing. We are all one in Christ, man. Fuck that shit, man. See? That's that fucking so-called Christianity that got you screwed up in the head, man. Thinking that Christ or Jesus loves the whole world. He doesn't love the whole world, man. He only loves the world of Israel. Isaiah 45:17. All right? Get the precepts right. I don't get them at all. All right? So this goes back to the beginning of times, man. Cain and Abel. Am I my brother's keeper? Esau and Jacob has a perpetual hatred. Zechariah in 9 and 12 or 13. Let's get that. And then we get ready to close out. This is Zechariah chapter 9. And let's start at verse 11. The deliverance of Ephraim and deliverance of Judah and Ephraim. All right, which is what? Israel. This is Zechariah 9:1 or 11. As for thee also, by the blood of thy covenant, I have sent forth thy prisoners out of the pit wherein is no water. Verse 12, turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. See? Now here it is. 13, when I have bent Judah for me, fill the bow with Ephraim. See? So guess what? It's going to be a time when the Lord raises up the 12 tribes of Israel, and particularly the elect on this side, to do what? It says, and raise up thy sons of Zion. Against who? Against thy sons of Greece, the Edomites, man. So the Lord is for this war that's coming, all right? See? The Lord is for this because why? The Lord is a man of war. Exodus 3 and 15. We'll get it, okay? This is the book of Exodus, chapter 3, and I believe verse 15. Slocky might be Exodus 15 and 3. Yeah, this is Exodus 15 and 3. It says, Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. See? And the NLT it says, Yahweh is a warrior. Yahweh is his name. So he's going to raise up this Jake versus Esau one last battle, to bring it all to an end, all right? And that's when Yahushua returns and take Esau out of power. As it says in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Righteousness. See? So we read that in Zechariah 9 and 14. Or is it 13? 13, it says, when I have bent Judah for me, fill the bow with Ephraim. See? Now just imagine when Ephraim and Judah come together, all right? That bow and that arrow, all right? A deadly combination, man. See? And that's what's happening. That's why these elites are shaking in their boots, man. Because we're waking up to our identity. We're waking up to who we are, all right? And we don't care if the 2/3 of our people don't get it. It's only about the elect, that small remnant of Ephraim and Judah. Both are the chief heads of their tribes. Judah being the head of the southern kingdom and Ephraim being the head of the northern kingdom. It says, and raise up thy sons, Zion, O Greece, against thy sons, O Greece. See? So it's that perpetual hatred, man. All right? And it's going to boil over, with cases like this and cases like George Floyd. Hey, these Edomites is coming to their boiling point or their breaking point, where they're going to reflect back to their old ways, man. You know, because they had just recently, a year or so ago, that they had Jake found hung on a tree at a college campus, and they tried to say that he hung himself. Nah, man. See, these Edomites, they going to start to get brazen and brazen. They're going to go back and reflect back to their old ways, man. You're going to start seeing a lot of Jakes getting hung and dragged and, you know, unexplained deaths going on, man. All right, but see, this is why we fear the Lord, man, because we understand what time we in, and we understand what the Lord is getting ready to do. All right, make no mistake about it. It's the Lord that's allowing this to happen. It says, Zechariah 9:13, when I have bent Judah for me, fill the bow with Ephraim, and raise up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece. Jacob versus Esau. And made thee as the sword of a mighty man. See, that's going to be for the elect, man. When the enemy should come in like the flood, the Spirit of the Lord should lift up a standard, man. See, the average Jake gonna get some of Esau, but he ain't gonna get these elite Edomites, man, these militaries. All right, this is what the Lord is going to use the elect for. All right, of Ephraim and Judah, of Ephraim, to fill the bow with the arrow, to go up against the sons of Greece. All right, to glorify his name. All right, it says in the NLT, Judah is my bow. See, and Israel is my arrow, the northern and southern kingdom. Jerusalem is my sword. And like a warrior, I will brandish it against the Greeks. Now, what did we read in Exodus 15:13? The Lord is a warrior. All right. He's going to use Ephraim and Judah as his sword to brandish it against the Greeks. What is another name for the Greeks? The Edomites, the Romans, Esau. All right. These are the two main characters, Esau and Jacob, man. This is what prophecy revolves around, Esau and Jacob. Esau going down and Jacob coming up, man. All right, this is what it's all about, okay? This is why these goddamn Edomites is trying so hard to hide their true identity, man. But the power through Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai is bringing them out through his service to prophets and exposing them daily, okay? So this incident that took place in Texas is just a microcosm for what's coming to this whole earth, especially here in America, man, where it's going down. Esau versus Jacob, man. These gas prices are going to start to rise. Food is going to start to get scarce. You're going to see those that you thought were your neighbors, because times were good, they were waving at you, you know, carrying on conversations. But deep down, them Edomites, they were waiting, man. They were waiting for the opportunity, and they're going to get it. All right, the Lord's going to allow them to get it. The Lord is going to allow them to get it very soon. All right, and if you ain't covered, if you ain't of the elect, good luck trying to defend yourself. You may be able to defend yourself against your average neighborhood Edomite, but against these agents, these Edomites and these agents, good luck, man. All right, you're going to get mollywopped. All right. So let's go ahead and close out and bring it to 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. And it reads, be sober, be vigilant. See, we do these lessons so you can stay in the spirit and be prepared and be sober and be vigilant, because this time is coming that we're telling you about. Jacob's trouble. Why you think it's called Jacob's trouble? All right, because it's tailored just for Jacob. All right, to be what? Delivered out of it, but only the elect of Jacob. It says, be sober, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, am I my brother's keeper? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And this is only going to stoke him even more if this young Jake gets off, okay? This devil is really going to devour you, all right? He's going to really look towards the devouring you, all right? So you better be on point, man. You better stay alert. You better be sober. You better be vigilant. All right. You better be circumspect. All right. You better stay in this truth, in this stronghold. All right. In this tower, this strong tower. All right. Because if not, if you step out, hey, there's a devouring lion out there waiting on you. Okay. And the time is running out. Okay. The time is running out. So be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. All right. So with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. Hey, we almost home. Shalom. Peace.